whatever, so that's what's happening.
That's what we're doing. There's literally a spring awakening moment.
Have any of you heard like spoof versions of your songs?
The other day somebody posted of themselves doing the dance of Sexy, but wearing this like giant head thing that was like not attached to them, so they were doing the choreography and the head was doing its own choreography. That was pretty intense. I sent that to you.
Is that person in this room?
Yeah, is that person here? We've all seen that.
You see like a giant head pop up? Okay, one more? No? Wait, what? There we go. Wait. What? Kayla! New okay. What are the best, craziest gifts you guys have received?
I got a big jean jacket with the plastics painted on it really, really beautifully. We hung it on the wall. We have our walls backstage are all...
We're gonna get so much wear out of that.
I know. It's hanging up though, and we see it, you know, as we go onto the stage, which is cool to see all this artwork that everybody's...
Yeah, it is really cool. They have all the, it's the stairwell of the theater, all the artwork that people send is really like treated with respect and displayed. It's really cool.
And there's some just like sometimes, the other day we got just a really sweet gift. She got a little magnet that said you are loved, and I got a little lucky llama. And it's like not really having to do the show, but it was just a really sweet note from someone who was just like, this is for you to have a great day, you know?
I love that you and Barrett laminated the faceless ones.
No, they came laminated.
Oh, sorry. I'm in the bathroom, and we share a bathroom on our floor, and we got an erase marker, and out of love, not making fun of it at all, but like we will draw their faces in and like change it up, so when you're going to the bathroom, you're staring at their
I've gotten a few faceless Damians too, and I don't know why. But it's interesting. But we also get a lot of cross stitches, which I think is really cute, because my roommate just gave me a cross stitch kit that I do at the theater between scenes now. And you guys, I'm a grandma, but it is so fulfilling. It brings me so much joy, and it's going to say homo, sweet homo.
On this party now, I'll say what one of my favorite things is. One of my favorite things from multiple people, because I play Cady, have educated a girl in Africa, in Kenya. Under my name, they have like paid for her education. Somebody has adopted an elephant under my name, a lion. So it's just really cool, because I wish I could go to Africa and do those things, but it's really sweet that people, instead of spending the money on like trinkets or whatever, have done that in the name of Mean Girls and in the name of Cady Heron. It's cool.
Awesome. And now she has to leave us.
I love you all. Goodbye. I'm so sorry.
She has tickets to Pretty Woman.
It's so exciting.
Before we go to some more, I have so for you guys, Jeff and Nell, what was your songwriting process like together?
We would talk with Tina, we'd sit down or Casey and try to just what earmark places where we thought we needed to have a song and who was going to be singing it, and we would discuss that, come up with a few ideas, and then Nell would go away and write lyrics. Go. Right?
I would go away, I would write lyrics, we would come back and do, like, Jeff does these incredible demos too, like demos with stuff happening in them, which is amazing, and it'd just be sort of back and forth for as much as possible. And some of them were just, they were clear in some form, and others would just be, here's a verse and chorus, is it going anywhere?
But I think that we would start with the words, and then we back into what the music felt like. It wanted to be based on the words and the characters. So,
what was the first song you guys got down? And
I know exactly what it is. When we were at the very, very beginning, it was Stupid Love, right? That was the first one.
And it's still with us today.
It is. It is still with us.
And Casey, you also brought The Prom to Broadway.
Yes.
A tale of high school. Did you guys feel any kind of competition or threat? And could you take the cast of Prom if needed?
We did have several members of the original cast of Prom that we stole, so we literally took them.
Yeah, we did it in Atlanta first, and most of the Mean Girls ensemble was from Prom, from Atlanta, because we didn't know at that point if Prom was going to get a theater and come to New York. So we gave them an extra year of work and more.
We joke that it's our sister show, you know, it felt like our younger siblings.
So they do, because also all of it, when these guys came to see Prom, it was awesome. There was so much love and support, it was really great.
So, based on you, I mean, your work alone, you were turning Broadway into the CW.
First Ashman gets the star of CW.
I fully expect Gossip Girl the musical to be here. Let's go to some more questions. Dana O'Donnell wants to know, how did you decide which iconic lines to keep from the movie and which ones to change? Because that was...
Oh, man. Oh, yeah, that's a good question. Thanks. Well, you know, I wanted to... I think we learned a lot in the process and in Washington, because you wanted jokes to really play as jokes, and part of the nature of what jokes are is they need to surprise you, right? So, so there were a few lines that we kept in that I can't remember, but that I felt were important to kind of keep in, but mostly we tried to replace them all because we didn't want that feeling of just people being like, yeah, I've seen that, you know, and you wanted the show to play for people who had never seen the movie, so we kind of took more and more of them away as we went, wouldn't you say? Yeah.
Definitely.
Also,
Tina wasn't precious with it, which is what I loved. You know, that there were certain things that made you nervous to keep for the reasons you're saying, and I think that's a great thing.
Also, because people offer you suggestions, they'll be like, "You can have a fetch song." No, we're not, because that's funny for one word, and then there's a whole 2-minute song after that.
But there was a minute when we entertained that the curtain call was going to be just a series of 4 or 5 line songs that you wished were in the show.
Stop singing! It would just be a mega mix of the songs people told us to do.
And then the show with You Can Sit With Us, which was a big, you know, big nod to it. And then Greg Heaps, She Doesn't Even Go Here, and Danny DeVito. But I know that, so when different characters come in for that scene, it's not always Danny DeVito, I love your work, correct?
Yeah, Tina's gifted us some new names to give the understudies for Danny DeVito.
Depending on what they look like.
But yeah, and so
what else do we hear?
Well, the lovely Brittany, when she goes on for Danny DeVito, I say, Gary Coleman, I love your work. Gorgeous Becca Peterson, I say, Olivia Newton-John, I love your work. Which is not a dig. It's me obsessing over how she looks like, but she's scared, so she runs.
I didn't tell you this yet the other day. During the scene, the You Can't Sit With Us scene, when I first said, I'm sorry, Regina, you can't sit with us, like the quiet one. The other day, I was like, I'm sorry, Regina, you can't sit here with us. I like added a here, and then Taylor went around to the side and was like, what? We were like, that's the one line you can't mess up.
I will say though, like, it is, like, saying she doesn't even go here, like, that's not even really a joke, is it?
That's why I was okay keeping it, because it was a thing that we got stuck with people from the movie that I never expected to, you know, like, there was something about that, and like, the only sort of joke I think that we kept was, it's not my fault. I can't help it that I have a heavy flow and a wide set, which but yeah, like, she doesn't even go here is not actually a joke.
And we're more excited to say the lines no one knows.
Yeah.
You know, the new stuff she came up with on the fly.
Though I do love the group Glen Coco sung callback, where they're just going Glen Coco, Glen Coco, Glen Coco.
That was,
you know.
And then we discussed this at DryCon. If she does not go here, where does she go? If she does not go here, where does she actually go?
wait, I don't remember.
You know this.
She doesn't go to North Shore, where does she go?
It's the John Hughes High School, right?
Oh, she goes, oh, that's what we just talked about this. She goes to the Breakfast Club school.
That's it. North Shore is set in the same town, as the Breakfast Club in the John Hughes movie, so she goes to the Breakfast Club High School. Yeah. All right, we've got time for, that is a very...
I think that means it's over.
Wow. Let's do one more. It'll be like an encore. What has been the best part of the journey so far? For the cast, rehearsals, cast, etc., creative casting, back, whatever. So what has been the best part of this whole thing?
I mean, for sure it's been being with these guys every day when we were in Washington and when we were in New York. Just, you know, I really miss being with them every single day and writing for them and with them.
Yeah, I also know these guys, working with these guys for 2 years now. These guys and these guys back here. So.
My favorite thing is creating. That's the best part. I think that if I had to like think about what this whole show was the four of us sitting on the floor in the dirty hallway at the National Theater going, how are we going to solve this? How are we going to do that? What are we going to do with this moment? I mean, those are, because that is the fun of it, even though it's absolute agony, that's what feels very rewarding on the other side of things.
We would like meet at intermission, and there would be like 2 seconds. If it's going well, it's going really well, this is great, and then we would start ripping it apart. And you yelled at me for liking Twizzlers over Red Vines. I remember that distinctly. Like,
well,
this
come on.
scarring experience. No, so
Red Vines, come on, Red Vines.
I think my favorite moment was opening night. I mean, that's so cliche, but right before you do the show, everyone's just kind of in their street clothes, and you're on stage, and we do the whole, you know, it's not called the Gypsy Robe, what's it called now? Legacy robe ceremony, and I'm not really a crier, surprising, I know, but I was sobbing. I was really like, I was just so excited and happy that we had, you know, and you go out of town and you do previews, it's insane, and then you make it and you open a show on Broadway, and it was just unbelievable.
the first time we stepped on the August Wilson stage together was incredible, and I'm like you, I'm like, I don't cry for them, I'm like, oh, it's gonna be so emotional. It was just beautiful.
I think I never thought I would be able to do this on this level, and just remembering like the younger version of me dreaming of it, but never really thinking like it was possible. And then to be here with you guys, and you fully trusted me, like I had the answer for this character, which was terrifying, but also just so cool and empowering. So yeah.
I think my hands-down favorite moment is the first time a lyric that I gave you guys made you laugh. Like 100%. It's like if I were on Twitter, I would put, I just made Tina and Jeff laugh on Twitter. And that would be the only thing I ever post. Because what more can you ask?
You're all making Ashley cry.
What's happening?
It's really, I think it's really hard to, at least for some of us, I think, I'm not going to speak for Ashley, but I think that it's really difficult to sum up a favorite moment in this because our lives have changed. This is, and I'm going to cry, damn it. Because our lives have changed in so many ways, and all of them are amazing, and so it's really difficult to be like, well, this is the first time I made the queen of comedy laugh. I will never forget as long as I live. The time that I thought Casey was coming up to yell at me, and he was coming up to create what is now the end of Act 1 with something that I had suggested, you know, a week prior, and was like, that's trash, what are you doing? And then he's like, actually, I want to do that. I mean, the idea of building a song on me with these two geniuses, the family that we've created every single day. I mean, some of the moments, even like 2 weeks ago when we were sitting in our dressing room with like 8 people making friendship bracelets between shows because we were tired, and that was like the thing that I mean, this has changed everything for me, for us, and I think it's so hard to be like, oh, this is my favorite, because I sometimes think every one is my favorite, every new one is my new favorite.
And now we get to, we have this platform now to inspire people, right? That it's bigger than us. We're able to tell this really cool story that people love and hear a strong meaning from, and I think that's really special too.
Sorry, one more thing. When meeting like Damian's at the stage door really affects me because I was that person. I wanted to be represented on Broadway, and you didn't think you could have a spotlight, you know, and I get to lead these musical numbers as, you know, this openly gay man, and meeting them afterwards, it's like, I could do that. This is a new dream role for me. I hear that once a day at the stage door, which is exciting.
I think that's why we all love theater, right? You know, I think I got emotional because I'm just realizing at this time last year we were about to start rehearsals, right? And I don't, and we are like such different people. And we have, you know, this amazing cast, like everyone at the theater is so wonderful. Everybody who's touched this project is so great, and I think that's a beautiful thing about theater is it's just so fleeting, and it's the relationships and the connections that you make, and this is, our show is just really special, and I think that we've all like been through such things together that it's really cool. I don't know.
And with that Gretchen moment,